Manalangin po tayo. Dakilang Panginoon Diyos, may-ari ng sanlibutan, pinupuri namin ang iyong pangalan. Kami nagpapasalamat sa panalangin at gabay na ibinigay mo sa amin. Salamat sa panibagong araw na ipinagkaloob mo. Salamat din sa pagkakataon na ibinigay mo upang kami ay muling magtipon para sa panibagong kaalaman. Kami po ay humihiling na nawa po ay gabayan mo po kami sa aming pag-aaral at bigyan mo po kami ng makalangit na kaalaman at lakas upang kami ay matuto. At nawa po ang lahat ng aming matutunan ay magamit namin sa pagtulong sa aming kapwa. Patawarin mo po kami sa aming mga kasalanan at nawa po ang lahat ng aming gagawin ay maging alinsunod sa iyong kautusan. Ang lahat ng ito ay aming sinasamo sa ngalan ng aming Panginoong Hesus. Amen. Good morning po sa lahat ng mga kaditi nationwide from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, sa lahat po ng estudyante natin, mga reviewees, academicians, sa lahat po ng nakikinig ngayon, welcome and welcome and welcome po sa Bikoyno. Ang Bikoyno po is a platform in YouTube na nagbibigay ng libre, comprehensive, at the same time, lahat ng mga discussions natin mga kaditi naka-align na po, naka-anchor na po ito sa latest table of specifications. So stop asking mga kadets ha, kung naka-align po ba sa TOS. It's going to be a waste of time pag magre-record ako, and I tell you, yung recording po natin will take a lot of time. It's going to be a waste of energy pag hindi ko po ina-align sa table of specifications. So again, lahat ng discussions natin naka-anchor na po sa TOS. I'd like to request also na instead of 3 episodes, kasi medyo po napakarami ng topics under this subject, gawin po nating 4 episodes and discussions po natin sa human behavior and victimology. Bali po, yung part 1, part 2, tsaka yung part 3 will be discussing about human behavior. Yung part 4 po, yung pinaka-last, will be exclusively on victimology na discussion. Okay? And I hope you will bear with me as we study again, as we review the topics in this subject. Sa lahat po ng mga reviewees right now who were not able to avail on the Bikoyno book, pwede po kayong humabol po, pwede po kayong mag-avail. Sa hindi po talagang kapos po sa pera, you can jot down notes while I am discussing. Importante po ha, na may pen and paper po tayo while I am discussing, so that at least you can jot down notes, mga importanteng information na pwede po natin magagamit in the taking of the criminologist licensure examination. Alright, without further ado mga kadete, una pong topic under this episode is about stress. Ano ba ang stress? Ang stress po will refer to negative emotional experiences. Take note of the phrase, negative emotional experiences. Ibig sabihin, lahat po na may eksperyensya po natin sa buhay na negative, whether that experiences will refer to being bullied or being victimized or probably you got fired from work, anything that is negative in nature. Ang tawag po niyan is stress. And sometimes stress, mga kadets, are associated with behavioral, biochemical, and psychological changes. And these changes could result to either acute, pwedeng episodic, pwede din pong chronic. Okay? So, ang acute, episodic, at saka chronic stress, mga forms of stress po yan. So, basically, these are levels of stress. Nasa pinaka-bottom, pinaka-common, pinaka-basic na type of stress, yung tinatawag nating acute. Ito yung na-experience natin, mga negative experiences sa day-to-day. Yung mga demands and pressures of the recent past, anticipated demands and pressures of the near future. Acute stress is thrilling and exciting in small doses, but too much is exhausting. So, Acute stress, ang dapat lang natin tandaan sa mga reviews po pinaka-common, pinaka-basic form of stress. Ito yung na-encounter natin every day. Now, pag ang acute stress, repeated na po siya, and it occurs frequently. Ang keyword natin dito is yung repetition, yung frequency. Pag frequent na po yung acute stress, magiging episodic acute stress po yung form. Okay? So, yung next level ay magiging episodic acute stress. So, ito yung mga tao who take on too much, have too many irons in their fire, and can't organize the slew of self-inflicted demands and pressures. Yung pinakamataas po dito mga kadete, itong tinatawag nating chronic stress. Pag magtanong sa inyo ang board examination, between the three, saan po ba? In what form? Wherein the person usually commits suicide because of stress? Or in what level? Wherein the person's bodies and minds or his personal life has been destroyed. Ito po, sa form na ito is yung chronic. Chronic stress po, ito yung pinakamataas. Dito po, nadidestroy yung psychological, emotional. To the point that the person will suffer severe depression. And in some cases, mag-commit ng suicide. So, it's the stress of poverty, of dysfunctional families, of being trapped in an unhappy marriage, or in a despised job or career. So, ang tawag po nito, chronic stress. So, the chronological order from acute, episodic acute, up to chronic stress. Okay? Sunod po, itong tinatawag nating dissociative amnesia. Okay? Ang dissociative amnesia, tinatawag din po itong dissociative disorders. Ang grupo po is one of a group of condition called dissociative disorders. Another term nito is itong dissociative disorders. So, ang dissociative amnesia po is an illness of the mind or on the mental aspect of a person which involve disruptions or breakdowns of memory, consciousness, awareness, identity, and or perception. From the word amnesia. So pag amnesia, ibig sabihin yung tao, nakalimutan niya yung identity niya. Nakalimutan niya kung sino siya. Nakalimutan niya kung ano po ba ang residence niya, kung saan siya galing. So, ang tawag nito, dissociative amnesia. Now, mangyayari po ang dissociative amnesia when a person blocks out certain information, and usually, this information is associated with stressful or traumatic event, leaving him or her unable to remember important personal information. May mga trauma kasi, may mga traumatizing event. For example, a particular person who has been raped. Being raped is a traumatizing event, or the person has been kidnapped. And this traumatizing event could result to amnesia, or probably a person who meets an accident, right? So that could also result to dissociative amnesia. With this disorder, the degree of memory loss goes beyond normal forgetfulness. Yun po ang kalimutan natin. Iba kasi po ang amnesia, iba din po ang forgetfulness. Ang forgetfulness is just basic, right? Napaka-common yan. Nakalimutan natin kung saan natin nilagay yung cellphone, nakalimutan natin kung saan inilagay natin yung pera, nakalimutan nating i-jot down yung important information, yung mga ganyan. It's just forgetfulness. Pero ang amnesia goes beyond forgetfulness. And usually, this includes yung tinatawag nating gap in memory for long periods of time because of a traumatic event. Okay? The other one is yung tinatawag nating dissociative fugue. Now, remember, cadets, ang dissociative fugue, similar po ito sa dissociative amnesia. Ano po ba ang pagkakaiba? Sa dissociative amnesia, it's more on memory loss or the loss of memory regarding your identity, yung consciousness mo, etc., etc. Pero dito po, sa dissociative fugue, dapat pa natin tandaan, it's not more on memory loss, but rather it's more on the confusion of your identity. You are confused on who you are as a person. And sometimes, because of this confusion, nalilito ka kung ano ka ba talaga. Sino ka ba talaga? You are confused in terms of your identity. And because of that confusion, you might create new identities. Pangalawang karakteristik po sa dissociative fugue, ang tao po will usually wander or travel away from their homes or places of work. Ito yung lumalakad sa daan. Diba? Every day you can see them walking from one place to the other. But then again, it's more on confusion of the identity, mga kadit. Iba din po yung insanity compared to this one. This one is more on the confusion of your personal identity, and sometimes because of that confusion, you create new identities and you wander away from your homes or from your place of work. Okay? Now, another one, the last characteristic is that outwardly, ang mga tao po who suffer this disorder, hindi po sila nagpapakita ng sign of illness, okay? Such as strange appearance or odd behavior. So, ibig sabihin, it's just them, like, you can see them being normal. But actually, they are suffering a disorder. And this disorder is known as dissociative fugue, okay? Next is general anxiety disorder. Pag anxiety kadete, ano po ba ang nasa isip nyo if you can hear this word? Di ba pag anxiety, we usually refer it to the sense of worrying. Yung nagiging ligalig ka, nagiging worry ka on a particular activity. Let's say, for example, magre-reporting ka the next day. So, hindi ka nakatulog, nagiging insomnia ka. Or probably you worry a lot about your board examination. You worry about the pressures of your family. You worry about your economic status, yung mga ganyan. Ang pag-worry po is normal. Okay po yan, normal po if kept in a minimal level. Pero pag nasobraan na po kasi yung pag-worry natin, to the point that ang pag-worry natin produces fear, or the feeling of being overwhelmed, and sometimes there is what we call as persistent, excessive, and unrealistic worry about everyday things. Unrealistic na. Kahit hindi kailangan mag-worry ka, ginawa mong basis na mag-worry ka talaga. To the point na na-overwhelm na po yung sarili mo. Ang disorder po is tinatawag nating general anxiety disorder. But I'd like to repeat that, I'd like to clarify. Worrying is normal if kept in a minimal level, pero pag nasobraan yan, papunta po yan sa tinatawag nating general anxiety disorder. Ano pa itong general anxiety disorder? From the word anxiety, you worry a lot. Naging ligalig ka, pinag-alala mo lahat-lahat na lang ng bagay. Alright? Next, the other disorder is itong panic. By the way, cadets do not be surprised kung bakit po ba sa subject po na ito, we usually talk about disorder. Kasi po, yan po ang content sa table of specification. So, human behavior po kasi ang subject. Alright? Ano ba itong panic disorder? Ang panic disorder, a person suffers from brief attacks of intense terror and apprehension, often marked by trembling, shaking, sometimes confusion, dizziness, nausea. Ano ba yung nausea? No? Parang nasusuka ka. Difficulty in breathing. Okay? These panic attacks can last for several hours and can be triggered usually by stress and sometimes fear or even exercise. The specific cause is not always apparent. So ano ba itong from the word panic? Panic. From the word panic, ang person po nagsasuffer siya ng mga brief attacks of intense terror, natatakot ka. Usually, ang tao po magti-tremble siya, masusuka siya, magiging dizzy, magiging confused. Panic disorder po ang tawag. The other one is substance use disorder or SUD. Ang substance use disorder is a treatable mental disorder that affects person's brain and behavior, leading to their inability to control their use of substances like legal or illegal drugs, alcohol, or medication. Symptoms can be moderate to severe, with addiction being the most severe form of SUD. From the word substance, pwede legal or pwede din po illegal. For example, hindi mo na makokontrol yung consumption sa alcohol. So, nagiging substance use disorder na, or probably you cannot control yourself in sniffing methamphetamine hydrochloride, or probably you cannot control your impulses to sniff marijuana. So that addiction, that disorder is basically known as substance use disorder. Yung wala ka ng ability to control your impulses. Okay? Next, the other one is known as bipolar disorder. Okay, ano ba itong bipolar? Formerly called manic depressive illness or manic depression. So, from the word bipolar, ibig sabihin, ang keywords po natin, dapat nating tandaan ka dito ha. Pag bipolar, ito po yung mood shifting. Okay? Or tinatawag nating mood swing. Sometimes ngayon, the person is happy, then eventually, or in just a sudden in a sudden event, automatically from being happy, nagiging moody siya. So, ito po yung mga tao that you cannot understand. They become happy and they become moody again. They become moody and sometimes they become happy. But they easily shift, okay? They easily shift in terms of their moods from being happy, being sad to being depressed or so on and so forth. And sometimes the shifting of the mood or the energy of the person is considered to be unusual. Okay? These shifts can make it difficult to carry out day-to-day tasks. May mga leaders po tayo ng mga bipolar. Timing po yan eh. So, you can ask, probably you already encounter these persons in your society. Mga bipolar. Ngayong araw, the person tends to be very courteous, tends to be very happy. Then eventually, na-surprise ka na lang, nagiging moody again. So, mga bipolar yan. Bipolar disorder po ang tawag. Next, depression. Ang depression naman is a higher form of sadness. Ang pinakamababa po is sadness. Pero pag ang sadness po is already persistent na po siya to the point na nawalan ka na ng interest in life, a person po is already suffering a depression. Sadness is normal. Ang pagiging sad po on certain things is normal. Maging abnormal po yung tao pag hindi ka magsasad. Let's say, for example, you suffer downfall. Of course, you have to be sad. Pero pa ang sadness na yan is already persistent. When you say persistent, continuous na po siya. Hindi na po siya napuputol o magiging depression po siya. Also called major depressive disorder or clinical depression. It affects how you feel, think, and behave and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. And usually, ang depression could actually result to suicide. Especially to Gen Z, ha? Sa Generation Z po natin, let's say for example, hindi po na-realize yung intention natin in life. Probably, we fail in the board examination or we fail in the subject. Usually, may mga tao po, Gen Z, or napaka-common sa society, iniwanan ng nobyo or nobya nag-commit ng suicide. Nako, mga kadete po, you have to love yourself, ha? Remember that you are a criminology cadets. As I usually say, criminology cadets are built to be mountains, and mountains do not bow down to little whispers of the wind. Tayo po, mga criminology po tayo, may pusong bato po tayo. Yung pusong bato po natin, gagamitin po natin yan to be resilient in life. Pag may mga problema po tayo, madidepress tayo in life, you pray to God, you kneel down, and you pray to God rather. You pray to God. You tell your agony. You express your agony to God and then ask for forgiveness. Okay? Open yourself to God. Pag may tiwala tayo sa Diyos, mga kadete, we will not suffer this kind of disorders. Yun po. Sa mga Gen Z dyan, ha? So, pag ang sadness is just normal. Pero pag nagiging persistent na yan, magiging depression na po. Next, itong suicidal ideation. Okay? From the word suicidal. Ang suicidal ideation is about having the perception, yung line of thinking that you want to kill yourself, that you want to cut your life. Diba? Mas gugustuhin mo pa na mamatay kaysa mabuhay. And sometimes these people will say that there is peace in death. Right? Sometimes kasi po sa buhay natin, in order to understand life, we must understand death. And sometimes, people will think that there is peace in death, to the point that killing is the only solution to get that peace. So, ang mga tao po who will be thinking about killing themselves, ang disorder po tinatawag nating suicidal ideation. The thought might or might not include a plan to die by suicide. So, ang point po kasi dito sa suicidal ideation is just you are just thinking of killing yourself without the plan is not relevant. It's not about the plan, but it's just about thinking that you are to cut your life. Okay? So, yun po, suicidal ideation yan. Next, PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. Ano ba ito? A person suffers from traumatic event. Okay? Nato-traumatize siya. So, na-experience niya ang PTSD. So, usually, this is the result of certain extreme situation, extreme and traumatic situation. For example, kidnapping, or probably you are part of combat, or natural disaster, rape, hostage situations, child abuse, and sometimes bullying, or even serious accident. It can also result from a long-term chronic exposure to a severe stressor. For example po, yung mga sundalo natin who endure individual battles but cannot cope up with continuous combat. Common symptoms include nagiging hypervigilant ka na. Konting kasikas lang, konting noise lang, parang nagpapanik ka na. Or flashbacks, ito ang malala, flashbacks. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng flashback? Parang nagpapakita uli kung ano ang nangyayari sa past traumatic event na na-experience mo. Nagpa-flashback yung traumatic event. Avoidant behaviors. Ano ba itong avoidant behaviors? Ibig sabihin, you do not mingle with the people in the society. Nagiging loner ka. You isolate yourself. Anxiety, worrying, anger, and depression. Yan, PTSD po yan. So again, PTSD, ito po ay ang disorder na nagmula po as a consequence po sa traumatic event. Okay? Iba yung dissociative amnesia, ha? Yung amnesia is the memory, ang target, loss of memory. Ito, the person is normal, only that he is suffering from a disorder wherein nagiging super vigilant siya, nag-flashback yung event because he suffered a traumatic or extreme situation. Alright? Next, the other one is separation anxiety disorder. Ano naman itong separation anxiety? Ang separation anxiety disorder, common po ito. Actually, normal po ito in the development of babies or children. Usually po, pag kasado po kayo, may anak kayo, you can actually experience a stage in life of your baby na ang bata po will cry a lot, will be sad once you separate your presence from the child. Okay? Pero hindi po siya disorder on the part of the children. Ang magiging disorder po ito pag on the case of the adults. Okay? It is the feeling of excessive and inappropriate level of anxiety over being separated from a person or pwede din po from a particular place. Okay? So, may mga tayo may mga teachers tayo nag-a-abroad doon sa United States of America. In just 1 week, umuwi kasi po they're suffering from separation anxiety disorder. The feeling of worry, the feeling of being lonely, okay? The feeling of wanting to be at home. Yun po, separation anxiety disorder po ang tawag. Next! Hindi ito kasali sa board examination na TOS, pero ini-include ko po ito mga kadete, ha, kasi po lahat ng may mga cases po sa board exam na ang tanong po is not taken from the TOS. So, jot down na lang po tayo mga kadete, ha, kung ano po ang nasa slides, okay? Somatoform disorders, ito po yung mga complaints about bodily symptoms, okay? Pag somatoform, ibig sabihin, nagko-complain ka about probably a sickness or an illness of your body. It's just about something that happens on your body. Nagko-complain ka. Or here are the groups of somatoforms. Okay? Ito, mga somatoforms, 3 po ito. Una, hypochondriasis. Ano ba itong hypochondriasis? Excessive concern about state of health or physical condition. Multiplicity about illness po. Ibig sabihin, kahit normal, ginagawa mong abnormal, napakasobra, nagiging excessive na yung concern mo about your health to the point na hindi ka na kumakain because you are thinking that eating could result to an illness. Napaka-OA na ba? Napaka-OA mo na. So masakit lang ng konti yung ulo mo, you are thinking that you are suffering from brain tumor. When in reality, normal lang pala yun. It was just a cause of stress. Hypochondriasis po ang tawag niyan. Pangalawa, psychogenic pain disorder, characterized by the report of severe and lasting pain. Either no physical basis is apparent or the reaction is greatly in excess of what would be expected from the physical abnormality. Ano ang keywords natin dito? Severe and lasting pain. It's normally controllable. Yung pain is just tolerable, pero ginagawa mo, sinusobrahan mo eh. Sumasakit lang yung tiyan mo, even it's just tolerable, sinusobrahan mo. Excessive, napaka-severe ng pain. But in reality, it's just normal, controllable lang. So, ang tawag dyan is psychogenic pain disorder. Napaka-OA ba? Napaka-OA. Kahit hindi masakit, ginagawang masakit. Yun po. Pangatlo, itong tinatawag natin conversion disorder. Bakit conversion? By the way po mga kadete, before I forget, conversion disorder po, tinatawag din po itong functional neurological symptom disorder. I'd like to repeat tinatawag po itong functional neurological symptom disorder. Okay? Bakit tinatawag siyang conversion? Kasi po, may nangyayaring conversion talaga. Ibig sabihin nito, ang tao is suffering from a mental health issue. Pag may mental health issue yung tao, yung brain will convert that mental health issue into disruptions of the physical aspect of the person. So, meaning, probably you will suffer physical malfunction or loss of control sa sarili mo because of the effects of the mental health issue. So, ano ba itong conversion disorder? Kino-convert ng brain yung mental health issue into disruption sa physical aspect ng isang tao. Ang tawag nito is conversion disorder or functional neurological symptom. Alright? Next, psychopathy. Okay? Ang tao, tinatawag siyang psychopath. Ang disorder, psychopathy. Typically stemming from immature and distorted personality development, resulting in persistent maladaptive ways of perceiving and thinking. These are persons who do not have any neurotic or psychotic symptoms but are not able to conform to prevailing customs and standards of conduct of his social group. Ibig sabihin ito yung taong ayaw talagang hindi siya mag-fit in sa norms of the society. Ito yung mga common characteristics. Una, walang konsensya. Pangalawa, immature emotionally. Pangtatlo, walang life plan. Pang-apat, lack of capacity for love and emotional involvement. Yung mga psychopath, this is usually a disorder suffered by serial killers. Okay? Yung mga serial killers, walang mga konsensya yan. Mga immature, walang plano sa buhay. And sometimes, walang capacity to form relationship or emotional involvement. Psychopath. Yung mga walang konsensya. Right? Next, itong very common one, borderline personality disorder. Ano po ba ang tao? Ano ba ang karakteristik ng isang tao suffering from this one? Ang borderline personality disorder kasi po, ang dapat nating tandaan dito, intense emotional instability po. Intense emotional instability in dealing with relationship. Yung tao na umiiyak and will threaten that he will commit suicide pag iniwanan ng nobya, pag iniwanan ng girlfriend. Ito yung mga tao na pag nag-aaway sila sa kanyang girlfriend or sa kanyang boyfriend, magkukuha ng knife tapos i-slash niya yung skin. Yung mga tao, mga intense emotional instability talaga because they do not want to be abandoned. And sometimes, ang mga tao that is suffering from borderline personality disorder will consider minor problems as major ones. Kahit minor lang yan, kinokonsidera niya na major na talaga. So, actually, I have a particular classmate na ganito po. Pag nag-aaway sila sa kanyang girlfriend, ang ginawa niya, he will punch the wall to the point na magkasugat na yung kamay niya, and he will get a knife, magsaslash siya sa kanyang sarili to the point na magbi-bleed siya because he does not want to be left or he does not want to be abandoned by his girlfriend, parang ganon. So, they may also experience anger, frustration, and dismay through suicidal gestures. Ito sabi ko kanina, self-mutilation and other self-destructive acts. Di ba? May nakikita ba kayo? Do you observe or do you happen to see a particular guy iniwanan ng nobya tapos ang ginawa, pumunta sa third floor and threatened the lady that pag hindi sila magkabalikan, talagang tatalon siya from the third floor? May mga ganyan kasi po na nangyayari sa sa society natin. Ang tawag po sa disorder na yan is borderline personality. They tend to have an unstable self-image or sense of self. Are at high risk for developing depression, alcoholism, drug dependence, bulimia, dissociative disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Ito yung mga taong takot mapag-iwanan. Di ba? So, borderline personality. Pag iniwanan ka na, huwag mo nang balikan, Choy. Hindi na yan importante. Sometimes, success is the greatest revenge. Pag iniwanan ka sa sa girlfriend mo, you do better in life to prove to that girl that you are a better person. Pag successful ka na, success is a greatest form of revenge. So, okay lang yan. Huwag na yung you will punch the wall, you will mutilate yourself, you will cut your finger, you will cut your skin kasi you don't want to be abandoned by the person. If you are doing that, you're suffering from this disorder. Okay? Next. Another na pinaka-common po na personality na na-encounter probably po sa society natin, itong tinatawag nating narcissistic. Narcissistic personality have a grandiose sense of self-importance. For short, ito yung mga self-entitled. Mga feeler ba, Brad? Mga feeler. Feeling entitled ba? Feeling that they are very important. They believe they are special. They believe that they are unique, that they are superior from others. Yung mga tao na panay sabi na kung hindi ako, talagang hindi yan ma-realize. Ako, yun po. Yung mga self-entitled individuals. Hoy, Brad, from dust you came, to dust you shall return. Huwag na kayo magiging self-entitled, itong narcissistic personality. Nag-a-admire ka, excessive admiration from others, and fantasize about unlimited success or power. Gusto mo talaga ang attention ng public, talagang sayo lang. Kasi po, narcissistic narcissistic. Hindi siya gustong ma-outshine by other individuals. Nako! Mamamatay po tayo lahat, mga kadete. Huwag maging self-entitled. Pag naging police officer ka na, huwag kang magiging demanding in terms of respect coming from the public. Huwag kang magiging narcissistic, Kasi po, kahit gaano ka kagwapo, kahit gaano ka kayaman, kahit ilang pang educational achievements that you get in life, naging masters of criminal justice ka, tapos ka na sa Doctor of Philosophy, naglolo ka, or probably you underwent supplemental studies. Naku, at the end of the day, we will all die. Di ba? We will all die. So basically, lahat po ng pinaghirapan natin sa buhay na ito, it will fade away the moment death will knock at our door. So magiging humble lang po ha, huwag magiging narcissistic. Next, paranoid. Paranoid personality disorder. Feeling of constant suspicion and distrust towards other people. Ito, tinatawag po itong paranoia. Okay? At ang paranoia po or paranoid personality disorder, yung wala kang tiwala sa ibang tao. Nagiging suspicious ka. For example, nasa likuran ka, may dalawang classmates nasa in front. Tapos yung dalawang classmates mo, nagbulong-bulungan sila, they whisper with each other, and they giggle, they laugh. Tapos, feeling mo sa sarili mo, ikaw yung pinag-usapan, so nagalit ka, paranoid ka. Di ba? Next, they believe that others are against them and constantly look for evidence to support their suspicions. Yun po, paranoid personality disorder po yan. Alright? Now, ito mga kadete, itong mental disturbances, na-discuss ko na po ito sa Introduction to Criminology, di po ba? Pag nakapag-review po kayo sa Intro to Crim, I discuss this very comprehensively. So, medyo, I'll be a little bit fast po sa mental disturbances, okay? Dalawa po ang mental disturbances po natin. Una po, yung tinatawag nating mental deficiency. Pangalawa, yung tinatawag nating mental illness. Pag mental deficiency po, ibig sabihin, ito po yung sakit that cannot be treated in a hospital. Hindi po siya curable. That cannot be treated. Pangalawa, ang mental deficiency po, inborn po siya. Okay? The moment you are born, talagang you have it. Okay? You have that abnormality. Pero pag mental illness, opposite siya kasi curable eh. Can be treated in a hospital. Pangalawa, hindi po siya inborn. Okay? Hindi po inborn yung mental illness. Okay? Punta tayo sa mental deficiency. Pinakataas po, idiots. Comparable po sa 2-year-old child. Imbeciles po, comparable to 3 to 7 years old. Feeble-minded, ito yung mga tao who can do minimal task. Pwede mo pong, they can do minimal household chores. For example, mag-igib, kukuha ng kahoy, pwede magawa nila yan. But they cannot perform technical or skill type of work. For example, if you ask them to cook, they cannot cook. Or if you ask them to receive formal instruction at school, they cannot do that. Next, itong morally defective. Ang morally defective po, normal po siya, normal po. Pero ang morally defective, ito po yung mga incorrigibles. Persons with strong vicious or criminal propensities. In the case of children, they appear to be permanently incapable of receiving benefits from proper instructions in ordinary schools. Talagang, they are normal, but when you give them instructions, when you nurture them, they are incapable of receiving it. So, no matter how you train them, no matter how you discipline them, talagang morally defective, they will do criminal propensities po talaga. Yun po, morally defective po yung pinakamababa dyan. Next, sa mental illness, ang sabi ko kanina hindi siya inborn and can be treated or curable. Now, ang mental illness, pinaka-common nito, itong tinatawag nating psychosis. Now, ang psychosis po, tandaan natin, loss of contact with reality. Yan lang po. Para maintindihan natin, intindihin po natin yung word. Psychosis, loss of contact with reality. Anong ibig sabihin ng loss of contact with reality? Ano ba ang reality? Ang reality, ito yung kung ano ang norms, kung ano yung standard sa society natin. Let us say, for example, pag kumain ka ng saging, ano ang normal? Ano ang norms? Ano ang standard sa pagkain ng saging? Di ba? Kukunin mo you peel the banana, tapos you throw the peeling, tapos kainin mo yung content. Yun po ang reality. So pag at the opposite, yun ang ginawa mo, you throw the content, tapos kinain mo yung peeling, that's not in accordance. There is loss of contact with reality. On the other hand, ano ba ang reality? If you talk, pag-communication, saan ka makipag-communicate? Di ba you communicate from one person to the other? You communicate between one guy to the other guy? Yun po ang reality. So, if a person will not talk to a fellow human being, but instead, he is talking to a rock, He's talking to a stone. Nakipag-usap siya sa kahoy. Nakipag-usap siya sa poste. Nakipag-usap siya sa wall. Basically, hindi po yun ang reality. Kasi ang reality, pag makipag-usap ka, doon ka makipag-usap sa tao. Right? So pag ginawa mo, nakipag-usap ka sa kahoy, mayroong tinatawag nating loss of contact with reality. Okay? Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng psychosis. Now, may mga different forms of psychosis. Una ditong psychosis, itong tinatawag nating hallucination. Ano ba itong hallucination? A sensory perception in the absence of external stimuli. Iba po ang hallucination, iba po ang illusion. Ang hallucination, talagang walang external stimuli. Okay? Pero ang illusion, may external stimuli. Okay? Now, ang ibig sabihin ng absence of external stimuli, para maintindihan ganito po. Let us say, for example, nakakita ka ng white lady. You see a ghost, or probably you see an evil spirit, or you see a demon. But in reality, talagang wala. Wala. Or nakakita ka lang ng ibang tao. Na ikaw lang ang nakakita. Parang may third eye ka ba? Parang may third eye ka, nakakita ka ng mga tao. Ang misperception po na yan, pag nakakita ka without the external stimuli, hallucination po. Pero pag may external stimuli, ganito let us say, nasa room ka, well-lighted ang room mo. Then suddenly, it goes brown out. Tapos pag brown out, nakakita ka ng white lady. So kumuha ka ng flashlight. Tinutok mo yung flashlight sa white lady. Only to find out na ang white lady pala that you perceive was just actually a curtain. Cortina lang pala. It was just a curtain of your window. So, ang external stimuli ngayon is yung curtain. And you misperceive the curtain as if that curtain is a white lady. But in reality, it was just a plain curtain. Ano yung external stimuli doon? Yung cortina, yung curtain po. Pero pag walang external stimuli, you just see a person, you just see somebody, you just see a demon or an evil spirit, and other persons cannot see it, what you are doing is hallucinating. Kuha po ang pagkakaiba sa hallucination at saka illusion. Another example, let's say, naglalakad ka, night time, nakakita ka ng kapre. So, ang bilis-bilis ng takbo mo. Kinabukasan, pumunta ka sa area. Pag-check mo, yung kapre pala, it was just a branch of a tree that was swinging to and fro during the time that you passed by. So basically, yung branch po, you assume that it was at the kapre, but in reality, it was just a plain branch. So, external stimuli dyan is yung branch. So, what you are doing is, you're having what we call as illusion. Pero again, pag nakita ka ng ibang bagay, without the external stimuli, ang tawag po doon hallucination. Next, another psychosis, itong tinatawag nating delusion. Ang delusion po is a false belief. Okay? A false belief that a person holds on to without adequate evidence. It can be difficult to change the belief even with evidence to the contrary. Common themes of delusions are usually persecutory. Persons believe that others are out to harm them. Grandiose, person believing that they have special powers or skills. Yung parang tumuto ka sa isang object tapos you do telekinesis. You want the object to move. Ay, nako, delusional ka, Brad. Or probably, may mga tao nag-commit ng suicide. Actually, my relative is a victim of this psychosis. He became delusional. Ayaw niyang lumabas sa bahay because he was thinking na mayroon pong taong nakaabang to kill him. One night, unfortunately, he cannot take it anymore. He got a rope and then hung himself on a tree. So yun po, delusion po ang tawag dyan. Alright? Next, ito schizophrenia. Ang schizophrenia naman, ito yung pinaka-common. Ang schizophrenia is a mental disorder characterized by abnormal social behavior and failure to understand reality. For short, ito yung mga buang na mga tao. Ito yung nakipag-usap sa puno, ito yung nambabato, ito yung talagang total loss of contact with reality. Talagang total loss of contact with reality po nito. So, usually, characterized po ito ng delusion or illusion. Common symptoms include false belief, unclear or confused thinking, hearing voices, reduced social engagement and emotional expression, and lack of motivation. For short, buang. Okay? Yung buang po, they are suffering usually with a psychosis known as schizophrenia. Alright? Yung paranoia naman, mga kaditi, na-discuss ko na po kanina. So again, ano po ba yung paranoia? Ito yung mga tao that they think that this particular event is intentional. That a particular action of a person is intentional. When in reality, it was just a mere accident. Okay? For example, kanina nasa loob ka ng room. Classmates mo nasa front, ikaw nasa likod. Yung classmates mo, they were giggling, they were whispering with each other, and you are thinking that you are the subject of the conversation. So, nagagalit ka. But in reality, they were just sharing secrets, for example. So, in that case, paranoid ka. Paranoia po yan. Sometimes, the incident most people would view as an accident or coincidence. A paranoid person might believe it was usually intentional. Usually, pag naglalaro ng basketball, got hit by the elbow of the opponent, but it was just accidental, nagiging hindi intentional yon, but a paranoid person will always think that yung act na yan is intentional. Okay? Paranoia. Right? Sunod, itong tinatawag nating neurosis. Ang psychosis talagang loss of contact with reality lang. Pero itong neurosis is just a mild mental illness. Talagang walang radical loss of touch with reality. Meaning, you are still in concordance with the standards of the society. Your action is still in concordance with what is considered to be a reality. Pero again, it's also an illness. Alright? So, una po dito, itong tinatawag nating neurasthenia. Ano ba itong neurasthenia? Manifest fatigue, nervousness, and sometimes pain. It is an ill-defined medical condition characterized by lassitude, fatigue, headache, and irritability associated chiefly with emotional disturbance. Or number 2, a feeling of worry or nervousness, itong anxiety. Number 3, itong tinatawag nating obsessive-compulsive neurosis. Ito yung mga morbid propensity, yung hindi makontrol po natin. For example, hindi natin makontrol yung pagnakaw, tawag niyan kleptomania. Hindi natin makontrol yung pag-inom ng alak, dipsomania. Hindi natin makontrol yung pag-set ng buildings on fire. Gusto natin na may masusunog, pyromania po. Yung compulsive disorder to kill, homicidal compulsion. Or yung hysteria. Ano itong hysteria? Hysteria refers to unhealthy or senseless emotional outburst coupled with violent emotional outbreaks. Okay lang po pag may emotional outburst po tayo. Normal lang po yan. Magiging abnormal po pag senseless yung emotional outburst natin. For example, namatay yung artista. Pagkamatay ng artista, hindi ka na kumain ng 10 araw. O kaano-ano ka ba sa artista? Nag-aidolo ka eh. Nung naghiwalayan yung Katnill, si Catherine Bernardo at si Daniel Padilla, ayaw mo nang mag-take ng board examination kasi affected ka sobra. Nako, kaano-ano ka ba? Diba? Hysterical yan. Napaka-hysterical. Next, phobia. Exaggerated fear of things. Depression. Na-discuss na po ang depression kanina. Alright? Lastly, pag-usapan natin, i-review natin konti yung sexual disorders. Mga kadets hindi ko po i-expound kasi po napakalaswa po sa topic na ito. Okay? May mga babae po tayong audience probably right now, or may mga babae po tayong mga kadete. I don't want to touch so much about this topic. In a way, lahat ng mga terms po dito are very understandable po. Ha? So, excuse me po pag hindi ko po i-expound ang definitions po kasi po napaka-understandable and we have to respect yung mga women po natin, yung mga female cadets po. Alright? Sexual deviation. Ito yung mga type of mental disorder characterized by a preference for or obsession with unusual sexual practices. When you say unusual sexual practices, yung hindi na tama. Hindi na tama na sexual act. Next, exhibitionism, a mental condition characterized by the compulsion to display yung sex organ mo in public. Abnormal na tao yan eh. Pangatlo, fetishism, a sexual attraction to objects, situations, or body parts not traditionally viewed as sexual. Na-attract ka sa mannequin. You got aroused, sexually aroused by the mannequin. Paraphilia, a condition characterized by abnormal sexual desire, typically involving extreme or dangerous activities. Number 5, those persons attracted towards children, pedophilia, sadomasochism, at saka sadism and masochism, similar po yan. Sa sadism po, ikaw yung tao na nag-inflict ng pain sa partner mo. Tapos, pag nasaktan yung partner mo physically, you are sexually gratified. Ang masochism, ikaw yung gustong masaktan. Gusto mong masaktan in order to have sexual arousal. So, masochism ang tawag doon. So, pag ikaw ang gustong magpasakit, masadism. Pag ikaw ang gustong saktan ng partner mo, masochism. Pag gusto mong saktan ang partner mo, at the same time, gusto mo na yung partner mo will inflict pain to you in the course of sexual activity, ang tawag po doon is sadomasochism. Gusto mong masaktan, gusto mo ding mag-inflict ng sakit sa partner mo during sexual intercourse. Tawag doon sadomasochism. Ang transvesticism naman is the practice of dressing and acting in a style or manner traditionally associated with another gender. Okay? Next, number 10, watching others while naked or having sex. Tinatawag itong peeping Tom, voyeurism. Zoophilia or bestiality, same lang po yan. From the word zoo, having sexual intercourse with an animal. Okay? Next, incest, sexual intercourse with relatives. Pero again, legally speaking, ang word po na relative are those bloodlines within the fourth civil degree po. First cousin lang po tayo. Okay? Pag second cousin, hindi na po yan relative. Kasi fourth civil degree po tayo. 13, satyriasis, an excessive sexual urge, desire of men to have sexual intercourse. Ibig sabihin, talagang hinahanap-hanap mo pag lalaki ka. Pag babae naman, nymphomania. Okay? Nymphomania for the girls, satyriasis for the male. Next, oralism, the use of mouth or the tongue as a way of sexual satisfaction. I will not discuss more on that. Napakalaswa po. Number 16, fellatio, male sex organ to the mouth of the women coupled with the act of sucking that initiates orgasm. Di ko na i-discuss yan. Cunnilingus, sexual gratification is attained by licking the external female genitalia. I'm innocent. Innocente po ako niyan. Number 17, anilism or anilingus, licking the anus of the sexual partner. Napakalaswa. Number 18, sodomy. Is a sexual act through the anus of the sexual partner. Nako. Next, uranism. Sexual gratification is attained through fingering, holding the breast, the flicking parts of the body. Next, 10, frottage. The act of rubbing the sex organ against the body or blah, blah, blah. Number 21, partialism. It refers to the sexual libido on any part of the body of a sexual partner. Di ko na i-discuss yan, mga kadete. Napaka-understandable po. Next, coptophilia. The intentional act of watching people undress or during sexual intimacies. Iba po ito sa voyeurism. Ang voyeurism, yung nag-peep ka. Peeping Tom. Pero ito, it's just a way of a person of having the sexual gratification, watching people undress or having sexual intimacies. Next, truilism, 3 persons participate in the sex orgy, such as 2 women versus 1 man or vice versa. Or pluralism, group of persons in a sexual orgies, such as couple-to-couple sexual relation, is called a sexual festival. Nako. Coprolalia, the use of obscene language to achieve sexual satisfaction. Mesophilia, response to filth or excretion. Oralgenia, sight of urine. Next, Don Juanism, the act of seducing women as a career without permanency of sexual partner or companion. Ito po yung mga tao who get their means of living by seducing or attracting different women of different locations. Nangyayari po ito sa in real life sa Pilipinas po. May isang lalaki, napaka-handsome naman po. And siniseduce niya having relationship po sa mga senior adults. And pinagkukuhaan po niya ng pera. Don Juanism po tawag niyan. Anthropophagy, eating the victim's flesh or slicing off parts of the flesh from the body, breast or thighs. Autoeroticism, sexual arousal through self-stimulation and self-asphyxiation or scarfing. Coprolagnia or coprophilia, sight of women defecating, touching, or eating excrement. Napaka-ew. Sunod, klesmaphilia, sexual arousal through the administration of enemas, some substitute sex for enemas. Infibulation, self-torture, involves piercing one's own nipples, labia, clitoris, scrotum or penis with sharp needles or pins. Last, murder. Murdering sadistically and brutally, including body parts and genitalia. Scatophilia, sexual gratification by making obscene phone call or tinatawag itong phone sex. Right? So, hindi ko na po i-discuss yan mga kadete, napakalaswa po. Very understandable naman po ang mga definition. Alright? Now, ito na po ang pinakalas na topic under human behavior. Yung last episode po natin, we'll be talking purely on victimology. Maraming salamat po mga kadete sa pag-patronize o sa not idolize. Thank you for advocating the Bitcoin. Ang Bitcoin po kasi it's a free platform po sa YouTube. And I think by far we become one of the leading YouTube channels po in terms of criminology education. My gratitude goes to the viewers and to those persons who subscribe in the channel. Maraming salamat po mga kadete na nakapagbigay tulong po kayo sa akin at the same time nakapagbigay tulong po kayo sa mga dialysis patients po na tinutulungan po natin sa Negros Oriental. Maraming salamat po and God bless everyone.